Hello?
Whoosh. What's up, morning, ladies? My name is Chad, and welcome to the What If Deku was the was split. And if you hear the hello part in the beginning of this intro, good for you. And yeah, I'm adding sound effects to these videos to make them a little bit more hyped. So let's begin. And so Zuko and Zumi, without further ado, let's jump right into the what if. You know the formula of these videos. I usually add the Zumi into these videos. So let's and Zuko will be split into 3 people. I'll explain that when I get to the point. So let's, without further ado, and yes, Zuko will have a quirk in this what if. Yes, he will have 2 powers. And yeah. I tried to grab all the pictures before this what if, except for Penny, Ippan, and I totally forgot. Happy Thanksgiving to you all, and yeah. Now with that out of the way, let's jump right into the what if. Zuko and Jimmy been born. And at age of 3, he gets loved by everyone. His parents loved him. His own sister sees and all that stuff. But but one day that all changed. Either for better or worse. So at age of 4, the quirk doctor tells Zumi, I'll just use this picture because I forgot to grab it from my other one. So, oh, that's not the one. It was, here it is. Let's transfer this over to here. So, yeah. So the quirk doctor tells Zuko, first he tells Zumi that she has a quirk and she can become a hero and all that stuff. But when it was Zuko's turn, he says, "You're quirkless." And let me explain this to you guys. Reason why he says that is because to actually protect Zuko from his quirk and his powers. So, yeah. So then after that, so at age, or after school, he gets picked on a lot. So his parents ignored him to go for their sister, or for his sister. So he went into the forest and He cried. But the quirk doctor did show up. Have you not figured it out? As Zuko is still sobbing, I know how you feel, Zuko. As the quirk doctor sat right next to him, you actually do have a quirk. As that got Zuko's attention, he said, I didn't. I lied. For a reason. Because you have enough power to destroy all of us. Zuko, I don't want to destroy everything. I don't want to be a villain. I want to be a hero just like All Might. Yeah, but your powers will cause chaos if... Okay? So, then... But in order to save all of us from you have to split yourself into, or not have to literally like cut yourself in half. So that but just as until the time comes and you reformed. Okay. So then he splits it himself into 3 separate pieces. The Infinity, or they all have different hair colors. Like Infinity has the same green color as his regular form, but his outfit is more of a different, and so he has like a galaxy hair. And then the Zero has all black hair. And then the more the fireman Zuko, or should I say Flame Zuko, looks more like Ace. And if you guys don't know who Ace is, let's go over to here and make sure I don't know. Ace. So Zuko has 3 separate personalities. They all have different hairstyle. Like, Infinity has long hair, beautiful eyes. The Zero has the black hair, and looks just like Zuko's. And then there's Flame Zuko, where he looks like Ace. He's all the way to the T. Because the quirk, is, yeah. So, stuff like that is just too weird. So, when Zuko, or so when everybody's like, okay, where's, or so Bakugo is like wondering, what happened to the quirkless loser? And Ochako agrees, yeah. Mm. And so, did they, did he die? As he said, or as zero, or so they're like, send them. There's these three are new. Whom meet your three new classmates. Ains, because Zuko did die. And when they heard that Zuko died, they were like, this shouldn't be happening. And Zero's like, huh. Figures that they don't know that. Yeah. So then so then the time skip to 15. They go to UA. And and then the Infinity, Zero, and Flame, or Flaming, or Fireman, that's what he goes by, does his, so, and Zero's like, get away, Tenya. And he smacks him sideways, like sending him nailed to a wall. As he says, don't be so mean, Zero. Huh. Why are you so mean? I absorbed. Remember? I'm Zero, so I can then absorb anything. Hey? So then Zuko Zero went right past Ochako. As the doors did open before, and Zuko, or the Zero, burst right through. As he says, let me demonstrate my favorite ability. As he puts his hand down on the floor. As he says, absorption of Zero. As the entire fake city was absorbed with the robots. As Infinity's and Flame or Fireman is like, he has that effect on anyone. As everyone turns and looks at them, you know about that? Yeah. Plus, Zuko wasn't actually quirkless, by the way. he actually did have a quirk. But he had so much power that he didn't want to kill any of you. And this is why. As Infinity points to the already destroyed city before, or fake city. And they're like, oh boy. So everybody's like, so you're saying that the Zuko had enough power, but the quirk doctor lied to him about him being quirkless. And in order to save his life, well, wait, so he died, or he sacrificed his own life to save our lives from him? Is that why? As Bakugo never heard of this. Because in this alternate timeline, in the past, whoever has the powers of Infinity and Zero and Flame has to separate into 3 people. But because of Zuko had so much guilt, but that's only the made-up story that they did. He really just splitted himself into 3 people. He wanted to protect all of you from him. That's what he told us 3. That they make sure to keep you guys alive. And Zero says, yeah, that's true. Lame. Yeah. And so, now, so all of us, we can take care of ourselves, but against you 3 are more like a destructions. 3 different forms of destruction. Zero, your power is to absorb stuff into your body. And plus, I'm affected by bullets, guns, quirks. Basically, like basically, if Music Mike tries to use his sonic beam or that scream ability at me, the noise would be absorbed through and creating little muffles in it. Really? Whoa. So, you guys are powerful. Yeah. Each one of us represents a different cosmos. Flame, or him, starts or represents how humans learned how to control fire. Me, Infinity, is everything and everyone. That only certain people can wield. Like you, Ochako. You represent or your quirk makes things gravity. Wow. So, stuff like that. And Zero represents the negative emotions. So then so a time skip. They all three of them um like actually went after school thing. Those three took part of the entire city, like split it into three categories of territory: zero, infinity, and flames. So, yeah, all three of them were their territory. And technically, it's their it's technically would be Zuku's territory, full kingdom one, or full city. So yeah, they basically now a time skip to All Might versus All for One. Where is All Might versus All for One? Sorry if I'm making you sick. So that. So All for One looks at Zuko, or no, All for One looks at the All Might and says, "It's time for you to die, All Might. Now, it's time for you to become a chicken." So, yeah. I wanted to add some turkey because it's Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving into this what if. So, yeah. So, All for One used his big, like, laser attack. And the most powerfulest one. But Zero came at a perfect time. And he absorbed it through him. And she's like, that was fun. Now, let's see. It is time for me to show you why you're in my territory, All for One. The one of the three most powerfulest people that took control of the city. You're one of three. I guess you're Zero. Yes. And Zero had, like, he kind of looks like how that one episode where he turns into or where Zuko turns into a monster thing. Well, yeah. As he did look up at him. I was going to put some red eyes on him, but then I was like, no. So he looks at him as back then before the All for One versus All Might arc thing. Interesting. The crime rate went down to 0%. Like right at 0. It stayed that way forever. We need to figure out who's doing this and why. So they were trying to figure it out. And yeah. As the girls, like, giving him cred, like, maybe whoever's doing it is probably like a villain that wants to take over the city. Yeah, that's why it's probably it. I believe that whoever, it's not just one man. There's three, and so then all that stuff goes on, and yeah, three men. Their names aren't. Wait, as he just remembered, there was three people that have different unique names. There's only, well, there's Zero, Infinity, and Flame. These three are more fit that profile, no stuff, because they are almost similar to All for One. But what is the connection between All for One and those three have? Are they villains? And they're trying to figure it out, but then, so let's get back to where we were left off. So, All for One says, you're much more powerful, Zero. And don't forget about us. As Infinity lands like a superhero landing. And then the Flame is like, yeah, whoever tries to do anything to our favorite idol will be burned. As they all looked at, or they're all in shock, every single one. As All for One's like, you three are more powerful. Oh, I heard rumors that you three are the ones that took each part of this city to as your own. As Zero says, yeah, we did. Not because we aren't villains. We see this village or this city as our own homes. Each part of our territory is like our own homes. We share everything. If one of us gets in trouble, the other two will bail him out. No one could ever do that to our. So All Might is part of our family, as all three of them said it. As All Might is shocked by hearing this. We always wanted to be heroes, just like you, All Might. As Flame points to All Might. As, yeah, that's what Zuko always wanted too. But now we will destroy or get rid of this All for One. As All for One says, the only person that will be, only people that will be leaving is you three. As he goes in, as it goes, or Zero absorbs the impact, but All but the Zuku Infinity grabs All for One, sends him flying backwards. And yeah, each one as flame. Yeah, he's like, it's time for you to be burned, and boom, as All for One got burned, and so to the point of he can't regenerate fast enough. Now, Infinity, let's remove those innocent bystanders or heroes, and they on it as they basically teleported everyone else away, so that they to order to protect them from what's to come. And yeah, so what to come, they charged up their attack like the and then yeah, they blasted right at All for One, and it was enough force. It destroyed, or no, it shoots a beam out, boom, right at All for One. And I did my math on the how much power they had to produce. Normally, to send someone flying into outer space and past the sun is 11.2 kilometers. But with their powers, they could double it to 22.4 kilometers. Yeah. Or 25,000 miles at times 2 is 50,000 miles, basically, per hour. Yeah. And man, it was a big yeah, like enough attack. Boom! It destroyed All for One. When it was gone, everyone was in shock. Everyone was like, whoa. Imagine Zuko as with that much power. Dang. As Bakugo, everyone that saw it had this exact same face as what Ochako and you see on your screen. As they're like, dang. That boys, if those three come together, man. As they're like, yeah. As All for One got sent off to space. And, alright, he basically went surpassing the sun into outer space and died, of course. And, yeah. So then when the attack was done, you really want to hear the All for One sounding like this. So, yeah. So, as I literally was trying to point to, or like, you don't see it, but I literally try to point to, like, something in midair. So, yeah. So, yeah, Zuko ends up basically when. So, those three were like, huh. Yeah. So, guess it's time for us to fuse back. To reveal who we really are. We're not just three crazy stooges. As they all agree, okay, what's gonna go down. But then, when they fused back together, it was like a epic moment thing where he became a lot more taller than All Might's buffed up form is. Yeah, so All Might, there could be like two All Mights stacked on top of each other. Both of them are buffed up versions. That's how tall Zuko is. As he had long, beautiful hair, and he did like the same aura where, excuse me, he's like kind of like Goku stuff, but a little bit more taller. So yeah, Zuko was same size as, or so he's basically, he had long, beautiful hair and like gorgeous eyes that even when the camera showed him full body, everybody or all those girls just like, except for his sister and his mother, or should I say Inko, because sometimes it sounds like I'm saying like a store name. It's INKO. So yeah. So when Zuko says, "Hey guys, long time no see," as all of the girls that saw him immediately like fell over with nosebleeds and they were knocked out. Huh. Yeah. So I decided to pick 3 girlfriends for him because yeah. First one, Zero. I'll start with Zero. And Ochako. Yeah, and their daughter is, or they had a daughter, or actually, so that's because when those 3 heard that those 3 were basically were one person, they had like, so Ochako was one, Maya, MEI, that girl, she ends up getting married, or like basically was dating Infinity, but then she found out. And the third and final one is actually a funniest one that you would ever, because I've been mostly using M-A-A, this girl. Oh. Through most of these videos. So, I said most, but sometimes there's, yeah. So, she dates Flame. But then when she heard that when she heard that those three were actually one and the same, all three of them were one person, as he's a whole head taller than her. Yeah, that tells us that she's not a tallest person anymore. And Zuko was tall, like super tall person. Her even her ears couldn't even reach his like top of his head. So yeah, then yeah. So yeah. Alright. And so all three of them didn't care if he was like, if they were, or if he was Zero, Flame, or Infinity. As everybody's like, man, Zuko, I wish I had your powers. You know, sometimes I wish that I had yours instead of having this much power. Because as he tells himself that tells him that, because without this much power, I have way more responsibility than than the rest of you. And about that part where I basically took 3 of those parts of the city was actually to protect the city from the from the villains. Yeah. So then Bakugo, that's why I wasn't taking it over. I was just yeah. So and as he looks over at the detective, and no, I wasn't being like a villain or anti-hero. I'm just trying to like make this world or make this city a better place for all of us to live. That actually makes sense, because with 3 of you who are more powerful than anything in the universe. You got to say that again. But that doesn't explain, what happened to those villains. Oh, those villains? I teleported them into my prison world. It's a prison. It's similar to Tartarus. As he points to the but it's unescapable prison that no one actually dies in it. So you're saying it's a special prison that was sent. Huh. That's interesting. Because if I haven't killed all for one, I know it's a. Because I'm just this innocent person. But if I didn't kill all for one, and he has a fourth wall breaking, so just letting you guys know. He says, well, then if I turn him into the police, like you guys, and throw him in there, then there would be an explosion, big escape from, and stuff like that. Okay, that actually makes sense more. So, that's why you killed all for one. Yeah, the kill rate for me is just one, all for one. As he starts laughing, not maniacal laugh, he's just like, I was just, back then, I didn't know how to control my powers until. Plus, the quirk doctor actually did something that none of you guys really truly thought of. He lied to me about not having a quirk, but in order to protect me from my own quirk, from my own powers. Wait, so, as he says, so wait, so you're saying, as even Bakugo, like, turns, like, he says, wait, so you're saying, Zuko, that he knew that you had this much power? As a quirk doctor comes out of nowhere, yes, I did. That's why it's good to see you again, Zuko. It's been a long time. Yeah. So you knew about it? Yes. Because that means that Zumi is a weakest one of the bunch. As Zumi was there, but when she heard that she was the weak one, and she still had a quirk, but she was the weak version. Like, basically, she was weaker than her own brother. So, okay, so, yeah, and sorry for that name. So now, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and yes, Zuko actually ends up saying, or Quirk Doctor explains that out of all these years of my entire life that I know in people with quirks, I never experienced a phenomena like you, Zuko. Or you're the only one that has enough power to destroy him. Yeah, in order to save. So, yeah. So now it's time. So, a time skip. So, Ochako gets married. So, actually, the three people that I mentioned, Ochako, Mina, or not Mina, Maya, Mei, and her got married to Zuko Midoriya. And so, yeah. Because, and so did he did separate himself into three, and Zero chose Ochako because he knew that her powers are the same thing. And then, yeah, Flames chose her, and then Infinity chose her. And, yeah. So, and then stuff like that. So, their kids are pretty powerful by themselves. So, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and I know this is going to be short, but that's okay. Peace out.